Hi everybody, it's Angie here. I'm doing a live from my consulting room in my house actually. I was wondering just a few minutes, because I'm doing stress all this week and stress all next week, posts, videos, resources, tools, techniques and videos. And what happened to me this morning, I was dropping my kids off at school. I'm probably still speaking a wee bit fast because I'm still anxious about it. I've still got the after effects. And I was dropping my kids off at school. Now my children's school, I'm in Leith in Edinburgh, is totally surrounded by residential houses. There is no parking whatsoever there. So I'd parked my car, not illegally, not in front of somebody's drive or not in a double yellows or anything like that. So I wasn't blocking anybody. And this woman came out just as I was locking my car. My two girls are there, and just verbally and very, very aggressively attacked me about parking there and challenged me on, you know that you're not supposed to park there, you need to move your car. But she was really, really aggressive. And what I noticed inside me, it felt, you know, that initial bit where I just froze, and I could feel me starting to kind of almost shake inside, and I could feel the butterflies, I could feel the anxiety, I could feel the adrenaline, and the after effects are still with me in my breathing and inside. And what I noticed is that she came into my physical space as well. So it just didn't feel verbally aggressive. It felt almost physical, even although she didn't lift her hands to me. But I did feel that my personal space was invaded. And this continued on. She wouldn't leave me. I didn't answer. She kept saying, well, what? Look at her. She's not even, you know, answering me. She's not even responding. And interestingly enough, one of her children was in the same school uniform as both my girls. So she was a parent at the school as well. Now, parents park here for not even 2 or 3 minutes by the time you put your kids into the school, and then you're back, you're away with the car, all this. But what I was interested in is, as she continually verbally attacked me, and in front of my kids, and her father was there, and in front of her own children, is that the more kind of I got shaken up inside. And as I've been speaking about stress this week and stress next week, I came back in the car and I was so shaken, you know, that point where you just want to cry, and you either go into that fight, flight, or kind of freeze bit in the middle. Now, at no time did I verbally respond to the woman. I didn't give her any eye contact. There's part of me in my head kind of really wanting to tell her, you know, where to get off, kind of to back off, because that's our animal instincts in our brain, to have that animal instincts, and especially when our children are around, to protect our young. But my beliefs and values wouldn't let me do that. So I kept breathing, I kept breathing, I kept breathing. And what kept coming into my head as I kept grounding myself is, you've got to be a role model to your children, Angie. You've got to be a role model to your children. And the reason I'm sharing this with you just now is not just because that's a real life experience and that happened to me. But I think often, you know, this fight, flight or freeze response really affects us. The stress of not just these massive events in our life, the moving house, the loss of the job, relationship difficulties, bereavement, loss, grief, all of that. And then also the daily life struggles. But then there's this kind of middle bit that stirs up more for us. And what I'm aware of as I teach training in workplaces is that often people say they don't like conflict. Now, whether that's my work with individuals, even working with couples, even working with teams and organisations, they say, most people say they don't like conflict. But I just want to clarify something, that this kind of thing is more than conflict. It's aggressively confronting somebody to almost, I mean, if that happens in the workplace, if that was to continually happen, whether it be through emails or through meetings or whatever that is, that in its term is bullying. Now, yesterday, I put a post on about assertiveness, so the difference between manipulation, assertiveness, aggression, and passive behaviour. And when somebody continually does that, they're crossing a boundary, a professional boundary, a personal boundary, but also an ethical boundary. And it's in the point, certainly this morning, I had to keep reassuring myself, it's okay, Angie, it's okay, you're going to be okay. You need to be a role model to your kids. You need to be a role model to your kids and not rise and respond to that woman. And I think one of the things that's particularly hard in the workplace, that if you work with somebody that is a bit more aggressive, is about the dilemma about what you do with it and how you are with it. But what I would strongly encourage you to do is really support yourself through these situations. It might be to seek help, seek to speak to a peer, another manager, another supervisor. Maybe it is a manager, I don't know. But also to kind of find that reassurant parental, maternal voice in yourself, to reassure yourself that it's okay, because when we feel attacked like that, our body will go into a system where, because we're animals, we will go into that high alert, because we're, certainly with me this morning, I felt highly threatened. There's no question about it. I did not feel safe. So if that situation ever happens in work and you're, that stress-induced situation, is to keep supporting yourself and remind yourself that the feelings that you're going through are temporary. They're short-lived, it will pass, and to seek external support as well, and to keep breathing. And the last but not least, I mean, there's many other things that I could say about it, last but not least is remember it says so much about somebody else. And I'm not saying this in a blaming way, but it does say so much about somebody else when they behave like this. And I think the important thing for me is to keep your integrity when we're aggressively challenged or confronted like this, to keep being consistently integral within ourselves. I think that's one of the most important things, but always seek support. I just wanted to pass that personal experience on to you, because I'm aware it affects us all in life, and remind yourself there's absolutely good people out there. I hope that's been helpful, and I hope to see you during my other videos and posts that I'm doing on stress, April being Stress Awareness Month. And if you've got any comments or questions or any suggestions you want me to kind of talk about with stress, let me know. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.